success of the Indian banking system, while in most developed countries, the banking system came collapse and government had to come out to protect the banking systems. India was the exception. Perhaps because of the cautious approach which the Indian banking system adopted, not to be tempted by the so-called market forces to run after the toxic assets, which is nothing but some sort of bubble which may burst at any moment of time. I congratulate the Indian banking industry for their cautious but steadiness. I also take this opportunity when I was reminded that very distinguished banker Sri Pradeep Chaudhary, Chairman and Managing Director of SBI, has completed just 1 year on this day of his announcement of Chairmanship of State Bank of India. He took the responsibility to steer the premier bank at a very critical time. And as Finance Minister, I can say without fear of any contradiction that he steered the ship of the State Bank of India, the largest one in India, with depth, credibility and steadfastness. I wish him all success in the future year. Several measures of prescriptions have been offered for the consideration of the policymakers to enhance the resilience of the global financial system to support the desired developmental paths. I classified it in 8 categories. 1, enhancing the transparency. 2nd, strengthening the risk management frameworks, including 3rd, the governance arrangements of banks and financial institutions. 4th, refining the supervisory and regulatory mechanisms. 5th, move towards Basel III. 6th, reforming deposit guarantee scheme. 7th, regulating rating agencies. And finally, modifying monetary policymakers' operational frameworks. Let me share with you that India has made a number of suggestions. Our Prime Ministers at the summit and myself had the privilege at the meeting of the G20 finance ministers to share our experiences and from our experiences make certain recommendations which have been appreciated by the international community and has been adopted as the principles of guidance for the sustainable development. I am not using the word post-crisis period because crisis is not yet over fully, but during this period, financial stability has become an integral part of policy discussions and macroeconomic objectives globally. Term financial stability refers to a persistent state of the robust functioning of various financial system components, market, institutions, and market infrastructure. It involves strengthening of the system to face any financial shocks with minimal disruptive impact. There is a process aspect which requires a rigorous, comprehensive, and continuous systematic assessment of risk build-up across the financial system. Also an outcome aspect focused on having the necessary institutional and instrumental arrangements to take effective regulatory, supervisory, and other policy measures to address the identified risks. A sound and resilient banking sector, well-functioning financial markets, robust liquidity management, and payment and settlement infrastructures are the prerequisite for financial stability. The Financial Stability Report for December 2011, brought out by the Reserve Bank of India, shows that the domestic financial system remains robust. a series of macro-financial stress tests which assess the resilience of the banking system to adverse macroeconomic developments has shown that banks' capital adequacy remains above the regulatory requirement even under the severe stress situations. There has been some deterioration in the financial soundness indicators, but capital adequacy remains well above regulatory requirements, and asset quality indicators continue to compare favorably with the ratios in the peer countries. Going forward, if GDP growth slows down, there could be some downstream impact on the asset quality. At the same time, additional capital will have to be raised to meet the requirements of implementing Basel III, the needs of a growing economy, and for meeting the objectives of the financial inclusion. The future challenges in the evolving circumstances to maintain the momentum of growth against the background of deteriorating global growth rates, sovereign debt crisis in Europe, the possibility of systematic impact of crises in international financial markets, and some domestic constraints. Sufficient cushion is available with the banks to absorb the enhancement in the equity and Tier 1 capital requirements as per Basel III. As Prateek has mentioned in his observations, government is committed to ensure the requisite level of capitalization of the public sector banks. It has infused more than 20,000 crores of rupees in 2010-11, rupees 12,000 crores of rupees in 2011-12, in various PSB in order to maintain a minimum Tier 1 CRAR at 8% and also to increase the Government of India's holding in the public sector banks.